God is always readily present and available to the one who invokes him in prayers. The habit of prayer is the path of an imperfect yet humble sinner who desires above all things else to be in union with his Father who art in heaven. Prayer is at the same time both gift and grace. It is a privilege to call God and address him as Father. The prayer Jesus gave us is of itself an exaltation to invoke his Father and do so with reassuring confidence. When we pray, we approach him who out of nothingness fashioned us in his image and likeness, and out of sinful degenerative states he redeemed us in his grace. We address him not as master but as Father, underscoring his paternal affection toward us, as well as the filial confidence with which he wants us to expect the fullest benefits of such an uncommon relationship. The Lord's Prayer is the most perfect of all prayers, for in it, Christ uncovers the kinds of petitions the Father wishes to grant. But this is not to suggest or imply that when praying, we should strictly be constrained to exactly recite the words of the prayer alone and nothing else. He didn't say, "You shall pray this." Rather, he says, "You shall pray like this." Therefore, it means that as long as we pray as he taught us, properly and correctly, that is, in the spirit and attitude of the prayer, and not only of its letter, whatever our choice of words may be, we do not deviate from the pattern and method he has shown us. Our regard for this prayer is founded most prominently on the fact that it is taught us by the Lord himself, our principal advocate with the Father. What is Christian prayer? By its very nature, Christian prayer emanates from an acknowledgement of need. It echoes an honest recognition of spiritual poverty, of self-insufficiency and dependence on the divine. It is an awareness and admission of helplessness and a cry for blessedness. It is the humble disposition to receive all that God's generous love and kindness can afford us. Petitionary prayer is what mostly sustains our touch with God daily. We stay attuned with him to ensure that his help is available and sufficiently supplied. As earlier stated, the Lord's Prayer is the most preeminent of all prayers and is outstandingly perfect. What Jesus gave us is more than a prayer. It is the first creed, a composed affirmation of what we believe of the character of him in whom we believe. A God who is Father, a Father who art in heaven above and reigns there and on earth beneath. A God whose name is deservingly hallowed above all else. We should realize that in uttering those words of hope, Christ actually is praying with us and for us. Jesus is the best and most efficient solicitor and advocate, the most assuring petitioner, and his Father is our Father. As we would notice in the Lord's Prayer, it is structured into 7 petitions, the first 3 of which are directed simply to the glory of God. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. But the other 4, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from every evil. These are petitions that are directed to the human hope of enjoying the Father's glory in every way possible. I invite you to join me as I share with you my reflections on each of the 7 themes that make up the Lord's Prayer. I hope you find it insightful, spiritually enriching, and helpful in boosting our confidence in calling upon God our Father and presenting to him all possible intentions and petitions, hoping and trusting that he will hear and favorably grant them. God bless you.